The bell above the tattoo shop door jingled as Olivia Martin stepped inside, clutching her cardigan tighter around herself like armor. Outside, the Seattle rain whispered on the sidewalk. Inside, the scent of ink, leather, and something musky and forbidden filled her lungs. She didn't belong here, and yet, she'd stared at his business card for 2 weeks. Luca Reyes, Skin and Soul Inc. Just 6 blocky words on heavy black cardstock, but they haunted her every night. The woman who filed books all day and alphabetized history sections at the city library, she wasn't supposed to be in a place like this. But she was tired of not being seen. "Be right with you," a low voice called from behind a curtain. It wasn't hurried, it wasn't apologetic, just calm, confident, like whoever it belonged to was never surprised and never rushed. She took a shaky breath, eyes drifting over the artwork lining the walls. Intricate designs, wolves howling into moons, a phoenix rising from black ash, a woman's spine turned into a blooming vine. They were more than tattoos, they were stories written in ink. The curtain parted, and there he was, Luca Reyes. Tattoos snaked up his muscular forearms like smoke. His dark hair was tied back messily, but his jawline was all precision. His eyes, storm gray and unblinking, landed on her like she was a puzzle he was ready to solve. "You're early," he said. "I like that." Olivia swallowed hard. "I wasn't sure if I'd come." "But you did." Their gazes locked. A flicker of something passed between them, like static in the air before a lightning strike. He gestured toward a leather chair, its steel arms gleaming. "You're the librarian, right? The one who came by during Art Walk?" You remembered. That night, she'd stopped by with a friend and lingered just a little too long at his booth. "I remember everyone who looks like they're running from something." She froze mid-step. "I'm not." "It's okay," he said smoothly. "A lot of people come here for that. Pain, escape, change." She sat down. The leather was cold against her legs. She'd worn a midi skirt and boots, what she thought looked bold but not desperate. "I just want something small," she said, reaching into her purse. She pulled out a sketch, a single quill pen turning into birds flying free. Luca took the paper, examining it closely. His expression didn't change, but his fingers traced the curve of the line like he was reading it in Braille. "Do you want me to ask why?" he said. "No," she said too quickly. "I mean, it's personal. Everything worth inking is." He didn't push. Instead, he rolled his stool closer and set his tray. The buzz of the needle came to life, like a wasp waking up. She flinched instinctively. He touched her wrist, gently, grounding her. "It won't hurt as much as you think. Just breathe." Olivia offered her arm. Her skin looked pale in the shop's low lighting, but as he adjusted her position, she couldn't ignore the heat that pulsed where his fingers brushed hers. Every touch of his hand was precise, but intimate, like he knew the language of her body better than she did. "You have a reader's hands," he murmured. "Long fingers, gentle." She blushed. "You can tell that from touch." "I can tell a lot of things." As the needle met her skin, she winced, then exhaled. It did hurt, but it also didn't. The pain was oddly clean, sharp at first, but rhythmic. She found herself focusing more on Luca, on his steady hands, the way his brow furrowed in concentration, the subtle curve of his lips when he worked. "What made you pick a quill?" he asked softly. Her voice was barely audible. "Because words were my only freedom growing up. I wasn't allowed to dye my hair, go to parties. I wasn't even allowed to read romance novels. But I snuck them anyway." "Fell in love with the idea of love, even if I'd never really..." She trailed off. She didn't know why she was telling him this. Maybe it was the hum of the machine, or the way he listened without judgment. "I think that's beautiful," Luca said. "You're marking a rebellion." Maybe just a whisper of one. He paused, glancing up. Whispers can be louder than screams when they're true. Something fluttered in her stomach. Not fear, not nerves, but something more electric. He was still holding her arm, the ink half done, and the closeness between them crackled. He leaned in slightly, lowering his voice. "Do you want to know what I see when I look at you?"
She nodded, barely breathing. "I see someone who's been small for too long, who's been waiting for someone to give them permission to be bold. But you don't need permission, not from me, not from anyone." Her pulse roared in her ears. The tattoo machine buzzed again, and he went back to work. But the room felt charged now, the silence between them heavy with meaning, the kind of silence that says, "I see you." 15 minutes passed like seconds. When he finished, he wiped her skin clean and turned her arm to the mirror. She gasped. The quill wasn't just beautiful, it was alive. The birds didn't just fly, they soared, and the line of the ink curled in a way that made her feel free, like it wasn't just a tattoo, it was a map. She touched it lightly. "It's more than I imagined." "I just followed what your skin already wanted to say," he said. When she turned to face him, she saw something flicker across his expression. Curiosity, hunger, respect. "Luca," she began, then stopped. What was she going to say? That she felt something? That his touch had unlocked something primal and electric inside her? He tilted his head. "What is it?" Instead of answering, she stepped forward, the space between them shrinking to nothing. She stood on her toes and kissed him. Not timidly, not politely, with the force of someone who had waited her entire life to feel. When they broke apart, he was smiling, slow, crooked, and real. "I guess the librarian had a little rebel in her after all." She laughed. "You have no idea." As she stepped back into the rain, tattoo wrapped in plastic, heart racing, she knew one thing for certain. She came in looking for ink. She left with something deeper. Someone who didn't just read her skin. He read her soul.
If, my friend, you like ghost stories, then visit my channel. There you will find one of the best stories. There are haunted stories and many more. And if you like the video, if you like the story, then like it and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.